On the 28th of October, I went to a witches brunch hosted by my old high school friend Stacy. I took my other grade and high school friend Gwennon. There were cocktails, a huge food spread, and a tarot reader.
No, it's on video. Oh.
Stacy has this party every year. It was an incredible kickoff to my Halloween weekend. My card reading was on point. I had asked about my upcoming trip to Nashville for the Strange Realities convention, and the cards Brittany pulled really captured my frame of mind. On the 30th, I went to an awesome metal show, Crown of Serpents, at the Highland Tap Room. I dressed as a flapper, or peekaboo-era Susie Sue. You all know my fascination with her from previous videos. Then on Halloween, I handed out candy to wholesome kids, braving the blustery weather. On November 3rd, I drove down to Nashville, stopping by Park City on the recommendation from my buddy Steve to see the Bell's Tavern ruins. Bell's Tavern was originally built in 1830 as a tourist stop for visitors to Mammoth Cave. The original tavern was wooden in structure and actually burned down around 1860. William Bell's daughter-in-law, Maria Bell Proctor, began building a new stone building, but construction was halted on that due to the Civil War. What's left is what you see here. After that, I made my way to the KOA in Nashville, Campgrounds of America. This place was great. 5 stars for a clean, cheap place to stay in Nashville. They even had a bunch of fun activities I missed out on because I was otherwise engaged. And then I was off to studio instrument rentals for the first day of Strange Realities. Little did I know, I was in for a whole lot of talk about the rapture.
If simply believing in what they said meant that you too could be part of a new heaven and new earth, why not? The rapture may be a relatively new invention, but the promise of something better is as old as faith itself. Those who have died or fallen asleep will go first, and then after that, those who are still alive will join them in Jesus and be with him forever. Isn't that the rapture? No. The rapture is a moment when believers who are walking around earth are zapped away to heaven to join Jesus and to avoid the tribulation when Jesus returns to clean up the mess down below and start things over. In antiquity, as to say in Paul's day, if a dignitary came to visit, some of the citizens would go out of town to meet the dignitary and meet him as he approached. What makes this practice so important in understanding this passage is that the dignitary always continues on into town. Dignitaries never just met the people that they were visiting outside of town and then turned around and left. In the rapture, Jesus, the visiting dignitary, comes just above the earth where the faithful meet him in the air before they all turn around and return to heaven. What Paul is describing in 1 Thessalonians is the complete opposite of that sort of encounter. In Paul's twinkling of an eye, Jesus returns for good. He never turns around and goes back to heaven.
Later, there was a really good tarot lecture by Kiki Dombrowski where she discussed the significance of gateways in the imagery of a variety of tarot cards. All of the presenters of this conference were amazing, but Kiki, seen here in the middle with the glasses and the brown shirt, really was a huge draw for me. She had us all pull 2 tarot cards from a bag. I pulled the 2 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. I had just pulled the Two of Wands in my new moon reading of October 14th. And the Ten of Pentacles I hadn't pulled since May. In her lecture, Kiki talked about the Two of Wands signifying the gateway of exploration. It shows a person flanked by two wands that seem to serve as pillars or columns as they ponder the world and a great vista before them. I always think of this card as a card of future planning, and the Ten of Pentacles as the ultimate earthly rewards card. Kiki referred to the Ten of Pentacles as the gateway to a magical garden. There's a wise elderly figure seated with two dogs at his feet, gazing out beneath an archway to what appears to be a happy family in a courtyard. Overlying the whole image are 10 pentacles in the shape of the 10 sephira of the Tree of Life. So what better way of pondering the wonders of this earthly plane than to stroll through a cemetery, literal monuments to our physical lives? This is Mount Olivet, a gorgeous cemetery in the heart of Nashville that Sir Fiel Stevenson mentioned in his opening lecture at Strange Realities. Even though I was pretty tired from lack of sleep, I really enjoyed touring this place. I even had a strange incident with disorientation on the road, where I kept returning to this pyramid when trying and failing to reach another part of the cemetery. It was baffling. I couldn't muster the energy to meet Recluse at Nashville's Parthenon, sad to say, but I felt I'd had an overwhelmingly positive experience for the weekend, so I packed up and headed home. Unbeknownst to me, more rapture talk still loomed. In 2022, on my way home from Strange Realities, I captured a bit of a preacher out of Hudson, Kentucky, named Sister Angie.
Maybe that's you. And if it is, I want to encourage you today and let you know that this husbandman that's taking care of our vineyard knows how to graft branches back into the vine. Can I tell you, he knows all about how to take that branch off of another tree and to graft it back into the vine and let it receive its nutrients from the true vine. And it won't be long till you won't be able to tell any difference.
Well, this year, it happened again. Just as I hit the Western Kentucky Parkway, I found her.
He began to get Eve looking at the fruit to see that it was good, something good to eat. And he began to, the Bible said it became pleasant in her eyes. He began to entice her little by little until the point that she gave in. And when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And here we know that James began to write and say, oh brethren, do not err, don't be enticed, don't let the devil tempt you to the point that you're ready to give up on God. Don't let him persuade you that there's something better, because the truth of the matter is nothing that he has to offer can even compare for the glory that's waiting for us.
Sister Angie apparently preaches every Sunday from 2:30 to 3:30 Eastern Time on the Well of Grace radio show on WBFI 91.5 FM. She encourages correspondence, and I intend to write her. Details in the description below. The explosiveness of her sermons really shake me up. I come from a different background, a quieter one, less visceral. But I can't deny that she's filled with spirit. Mr. Lowry. And there's the pyramid I can't escape.